Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial about SPGs. In this video I will try to help you make your first steps on the battlefield in your mobile artillery. Let's start with the basics. You're not controlling an assault vehicle anymore. That means no more close combat or base capturing in regular combat. Your new playstyle will be hiding far away from the front lines and throwing heavy bombs on unsuspecting enemy tanks that have no way of returning fire immediately. A setback is the low survivability of SPGs in direct combat. Since SPGs usually have the thinnest armor in their respective tier, they can be penetrated even by small calibers. Their slow turning speed makes them easy to flank, and the long reload times a quite defenseless target, so a good hideout is strongly advised. If you haven't decided on which faction's SPG you want to use, here is some info. I find the Soviet SPG line to be quite inconsistent. While their speed limit until the highest tier is always at about 30 km per hour, the traverse speed varies drastically, and especially the jump from 30 degrees per second with the SU-5 to 18 degrees per second with the SU-8 is a major setback. But the firing rate of the SPGs is formidable and unmatched by the enemy. Soviet SPGs can mount their strongest gun already at tier 6. The tier 8 SPG however mounts a weaker gun, but with better overall characteristics. That gun is also the most accurate one among the tier 8 SPGs with the fastest aim speed. The Germans have guns with good accuracy and decent penetration and damage values, but they lack the reload time of the American and Russian counterparts. American SPGs advance more consistently than their counterparts and lead to the single most strongest gun in the game with a devastating damage of 2250 average. With one exception, their rate of fire slowly but consistently decreases, while the accuracy more or less stays consistent and aim speed and damage increases. I'd recommend playing the American SPG for the steady advancement. Now let's take a look at the garage. Because an SPG heavily relies on allied reconnaissance, you must aim on purchasing the best radio you can mount. After that, a better gun and some new tracks are advised. A better engine can be researched, but isn't necessary. There are no SPGs with upgradable turrets. If you have some money to spare, spend it on training for your crew or equipment. Good gunners will decrease the aim time and increase your accuracy. A seasoned loader will load your gun faster, and a well-trained radio operator will be able to make full use of your signal range. The level of your commander can further increase the skill of the rest of the crew, which is also a neat option. The recommended equipment are the camouflage net, which lowers your visibility, the gun laying drive, which increases your aiming speed, and the shell rammer, which decreases the reload time. However, the measures are quite expensive, and I recommend them only for higher tiers, since you won't have to play a lot of matches in the low ones, thus making investing in them ridiculous. If you want, you can also take some consumables with you, but I wouldn't recommend it since chances of surviving a direct encounter with the enemy are extremely low, thus using them would only cost money. After the match starts, move towards an advantageous position, preferably behind a solid object like rocks, a hill or a house. And always try to be as least visible as possible. Your attention should always be on the map. If you see a bulk of enemies heading towards the weak defense force, concentrate on that first before hitting on easy targets. Your primary target should always be enemy artillery and heavy tanks. You should also inform your teammates about weak spots in your team's defense, as you have the ultimate overview they don't have. A useful feature of the artillery is the quick navigation using the minimap. Simply press and hold Ctrl and right click on the map. That way you will be able to navigate through the whole map with little effort. Especially in the higher tiers where your gun range spans across the whole map, you must also take into consideration that your shells can take quite a while to its destination, so moving targets are extremely hard to hit, especially if they are zigzagging. Playing SPG also requires some degree of foresight and experience as to where the enemy is most likely to come from or where your team scout is most likely to detect them. Move your chassis towards that direction and lock the hull. By default you can do that by pressing X. On the bottom left you will see an exclamation mark appear. Locking the hull will prevent your SPG to turn when you move your gun, which is important, as a moving hull will severely screw up your aim, and it will take precious seconds to regain the accuracy you achieved by not moving at all. If all hell breaks loose and enemy tanks do reach your base, you can always switch to TD mode and try hitting them straight on. but a fast retreat is recommended when you feel you are outgunned. If you happen to survive a direct confrontation, you must leave your current position. If the enemy artillery is still intact, they will try to hit you immediately. You won't have to go far though, if there are probably no other tanks near your perimeter. When you finally have enough money or experience to buy a new tank, demount everything you can use on your next vehicle. That includes crew, modules such as gun, engine and radio, all consumables and the demountable equipment like camo net or toolbox. Turret and tracks can stay on your tank as they are unique to their vehicle. Then buy your new tank without the crew and put in your old one. Retrain them for the new tank and you have a crew that is slightly better than freshmen.